Want to call to order the regular meeting of the Brattleboro Housing Partnerships on Monday, January 13th, 2020. We're meeting at Samuel Elliot Apartments. First order of business is to review and approve the minutes of the meeting of December 16th, 2019. Are there any revisions, any corrections, any comments?
I'll move to approve them.
Do I hear a second? Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye and shake.
Aye.
Raise your hand. Thank you. Resident and citizen participation. And our resident has gone to get some pizza, so
Okay.
she's not here at the moment. When she comes back, if she wants to participate, that's fine. The next order of business is to open the public hearing on the 2020 annual and 5-year plans. They were in our packet. I'm wondering if it might be useful just to read the description of how the PHA is Public Housing Authority plan is consistent with the consolidated plan or state consolidated plan. Brattleboro Housing Partnership remains committed to providing housing to community members with very low income. In 2019, Brattleboro Housing Partnership converted to RAD, rental assistance demonstration for 4 of its public housing properties, including Hayes Court, Ledgewood Heights, Moore Court, and the Samuel Elliot Apartments. In 2020, BHP will begin making capital improvements to all these properties. The Melrose Terrace project of removing residents and buildings from the floodway continues with the goal of rehousing residents by 2021. BHP will demolish the remaining buildings along the stream to allow for it to be widened for water storage in the case of future flooding. Brattleboro Housing Partnership is committed to offering 3 programs focused on housing the homeless and hard to house. Brattleboro Housing Partnership continues to broaden and strengthen its supportive services programs for residents across its portfolio. Additions, comments, questions? It is very extensive. Good evening.
Good evening, I missed it all?
Have you missed anything?
Yeah,
Not much.
oh, good. Yeah, I'll just sit here.
We're having a public hearing on our annual 2020 plan and the 5-year plan for work.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to sit?
I'm gonna sit right here.
It's certainly very thorough and very well stated. Well, the reason I read aloud at the very beginning was that it was a good capsule of who we are, where we are, and what our intentions are. And it's so hard to remember that Hayes Court, Ledgewood Heights, Moore Court, and Samuel Elliott's apartments are no longer public housing, but they're under the rental assistance demonstration project, which means we'll have the resources that we need to do the upgrades. That's right. Christine, any more comments, thoughts for us on this?
No, this was the first official HUD document that I had to work on.
Well, I was
So
just
that was
thinking,
great.
This is your
And
first
so it was a great opportunity for me to do both the 1-year plan and the 5-year plan. And really, outside of the potential idea of moving to work, at this point, we're really avoiding any big projects. I mean, we already have our big project of Red Clover Commons 2 that's underway. But since we've gone to Brad, the staff has really decided we want to shelve anything and really just focus on the nuts and bolts of the organization and implementing RAD, implementing the capital needs assessment under the RAD program, and just continuing to offer all the supportive services that we have.
And as chair, I am delinquent in not saying we really celebrate our new executive director
Thank
being
you.
with us, Christine.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Any other comments, questions? Tom, it's been a while since you've been here, so any more thoughts on the plan?
No, it looks fine to me.
Then do I hear a motion to close the public hearing? I'll move. Okay, Liz has moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Tom, second. All those in favor of closing the public hearing, please say aye.
Aye.
Do I hear a motion to adopt the annual and 5-year plans as presented or with changes? We have no changes. Liz and Tom. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no.
Nice piece of work.
It was quite a piece of work.
That's why we'll have you at the end, just.
Yes, that was very well written.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. And one piece as well is that we did send it to the Resident Advisory Communication Committee. Everybody received a copy of the letter and asking if they had any comments, we do not.
Staff reports review, property portfolio manager, property managers. It's nice bright yellow.
At some point, can I ask a couple of questions?
Absolutely. This is a good time just to break in because we have had resident and citizen participation before you arrived. We'll open it right now for you. And your name?
Kenneth Holden.
Kenneth Holder.
I live here in 401. And this place has got disgusting. The carpets, I think they're the original carpets that are in here. They smell so bad and they're so dirty. It's just unbelievable. You go up and down these halls in the summertime, and if you don't have the windows open, you gag. The other thing is, we seem to now have somebody that likes to spit and flick their snots on the walls. And it's on the 4th floor. There's one place right across from the elevator. Looks like somebody got a big old snot in their mouth and spit it right on the wall. And 2 down by the garbage. One on the outside of the garbage on the 4th floor, and the bloody booger on the inside where somebody wiped their finger on it. And I talked to Courtney about these snot stuff a week ago, and she told me, oh, that's gross, I'll take right care of it. Well, it's been a week and nobody's taken care of it yet. And I would say that's pretty gross.
Well, I know Christine is taking notes on that. And the other thing I could comment, which is not to be defend, but to say why it's so important that we made the change to the rental assistance or the RAD demonstration project. Because we'll have the funds to do the renovations that are needed in all of these buildings, because they're not, I mean, I may be 84 and they're younger than I am, but they are definitely showing the age when they were built.
Yeah, I helped build this.
Did you really?
Yeah, I carried brick for 2 weeks, and that's all I could do with it. I quit, that was it. That was too much work for me. That's when you had to hand carry the bricks. But
Thank
this,
you for bringing those things to our attention.
and the other thing is, there was a real big thing last year or the year before about putting these new 8-foot sliding glass doors in. They were going to be so much more efficient that we weren't going to get the cold air through them like we did the other ones. These ones that we got in are no better than the ones that they took out. You go up there and in my apartment and you open those curtains and you can just feel the cold air just come blasting right at you.
Is that something that Jack and I do?
Yeah, we certainly can have Jack look at it again. I didn't know that, so thank you for bringing
May
that
I
to our
say
attention.
something?
Of course, yeah. Do you
Um,
mind saying your name?
Oh, Carolyn Novello, I live in 404. Oh, I'm sorry, the dryers that are in the laundry room, they're never clean, they're disgusting, and when they break down, we can't have our money back. And which is not our fault that the washers break down,
Dryer.
and the dryers. And the, sorry, I got a sore throat. The tube that goes out the dryer through the window, the heat, where you clean it, they never cleaned it.
You have the vents for the dryer that goes out through the wall.
Yes, uh-huh.
Yeah. And the
This
mop
place is-
sink.
And you can't even let your dogs or on the leash when they come out because the carpets are so bad. And you gotta be careful where you step because people drop little pins and stuff all over the place and stuff. And I think it's a good idea. It's up to you guys, but if we could have tile instead of the carpet, because this way it'll be more easy to, you know, like to mop up, and we also need more cleaning people here.
We used to have somebody came in and vacuumed once a week. Now we have somebody that comes in and vacuums. Sometimes it's once a week, sometimes it's once every 2 weeks. Sometimes it's been as much as 3 weeks without them coming to vacuum.
And especially the second room, on the second floor here, on the ladies' room and the men's bathroom.
It is disgusting. Those,
They-
go in and
they
use
have
those
their,
bathrooms.
you know,
Those
they
bathrooms
Put their
are
pads in the
nasty.
garbage can and they end up on the floor. Nobody flushes the toilet, there's no soap, no,
Toilet paper,
Toilet
paper
paper.
towels.
yeah, nothing. And people are stealing the toilet paper out of the bathrooms.
The urinal has a black ring around it.
Well, I certainly will talk to them about cleaning and adding more cleaning. I'm guessing in the winter we probably need more cleaning because so many people have, you know, their shoes are dirty from outside as well. I'll definitely talk to them about that.
And we also have spiders all on the, what floor, our floor, right?
Yep, the fourth floor.
The fourth floor, spiders. And Courtney said, oh, we'll take care of them, we'll take care of them. She never did.
Well, you can't say she didn't try. I don't know what she did.
Well, we
But
didn't, we haven't
they
seen
haven't been
anything.
done yet. The spiders are still there.
And then the bricks are like, just put up there, if you can see it, it's like, there's a bunch of them around the building that needs to be fixed.
Oh, it's ceiling
Yeah, I don't know
tile.
what they're called, but they're,
The
Ceiling
ceiling
tiles.
tile.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
it's just-
spiders are coming from, on the fourth floor, the spiders are coming from up over the ceiling tile. They come in and they, Todd or one of the maintenance men, come in and they brush the spiders that are there all
Get
down.
there and clean it, you know.
But they don't spray up inside of the tile where the spiders are coming from.
Oh, okay.
A couple days later, there's more spiders and spider webs there.
And then we had a bat that flew in one time last year, a real bat.
So there's nothing they can do about
It was
that.
around Halloween too.
Oh, very
Yeah.
appropriate.
Yeah. Well, I will certainly, thank you very much. I will certainly give this information to them. It sounds like you've already shared it with Courtney, but I will review it. We have a staff meeting tomorrow morning. I'll let them know. And you're right. The cleaning, I know that we have been down to one maintenance person and we're just in the process of hiring someone right now. So we should have
Well,
a
in the
person.
meantime,
Yeah,
why can't you get one of the, like, what's his name? The newer guy? He's got long curly hair. The one on Facebook.
I don't know what his name is.
Well, anyway, why can't they have them come in on a slow day, like on another day and do it? Because that's part of their job too.
Yeah, well, we have hired a cleaning company, we do have a cleaning company that comes in and cleans here. And I think that the maintenance staff is pretty busy right now with turnovers and with, you know, we have snowstorms and dealing with ice outside. This property's a little bit easier, but some of our other properties are really hard to manage during a snowstorm. They take a lot of time. And then that delays our turnovers, and so, but I will definitely pass this information on.
Because I'm
and see
really
if-
embarrassed to bring anybody of my family in here because the way this building looks. And then that, they walk their dog by the pole outside.
That, you know, that real
Yeah.
big pole right outside the door, the main door, when
They
you're
gotta
going
do
out to
both.
the parking lot.
You know, it'd be super helpful for me, if you don't mind, I know that you've given this to Courtney, but I know we have those pink complaint forms, if you wanna just write everything down that you're
Yeah,
saying.
we've already done that, yeah.
Well, if you could give it and
Okay.
put my name on it. My name's Christine
Okay.
Hazard. Yep,
That would work.
yep, you can put it right in the office box and make
Okay.
sure I get it, okay?
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you so
Because
much.
You're welcome.
our eyes don't see the things you live with, so this is very helpful.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said our eyes don't see the things you live with.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's,
this is
yeah.
very helpful.
The other piece is we're always looking for people to be representatives on our resident advisory communication committee. And that would be something that you would talk to Lorelei about, but we're always looking for people, especially at Sam Elliott, to come and represent their building.
What did you say your name was?
Christine,
Yeah,
my last name's Hazard, Hazzard. And if you're interested in the resident advisory communication committee, you could speak to Lorelei and she could give you information about
Yeah,
that. And
she's a real sweetheart.
that's a great
Yeah.
way to communicate information about your building directly to us.
Okay. And also, when she had the door, I've already filled out the paperwork. And when she had the door decorating for Halloween, somebody just came up and took all my snowman off my
your
door.
Christmas one.
Yeah, the Christmas one, and the candy canes.
They just took them right out
We
the
do
door.
need to go back to our wider agenda.
See, that should be on the cameras.
The report form will be really helpful, even if you put it in once.
Yeah,
Do it
yeah,
again,
I just,
and
I
that will
would break it out, because I already did it earlier.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
once
that's
doesn't
fine.
hurt. Okay,
Oh,
we're going to look
everybody
at
heard.
the property portfolio manager, property managers, the yellow phone. Comments, questions? I know you highlighted that the rent collection performance, move-in, move-out reports down due to a few residents in litigation.
That is what, yes, specifically at Moore Court.
Are those collections usually tougher than Ledgewood?
No, not necessarily. It varies depending. It really does. Sometimes Ledgewood would be a little bit lower and sometimes Moore Court will be a little bit lower. But it would be, Moore Court's so small, it's only 24 units, so it will affect that percentage more quickly, you know, than Ledgewood. It's about twice the size, so it does, so a few people in litigation will make a drastic difference
Yeah.
at Moore Court.
And the vacancies, 8 one-bedroom vacancies,
Yes.
1 two-bedroom, and 2 three-bedroom vacancies.
Yes. And so we've had a lot of, we've had quite a substantial amount of turnovers. And so we have been trying to turn over the apartments as quickly as possible. And I know Courtney, they do have people online. The zero are tough to fill,
Yes.
but I'm sure they will fill them eventually. That is a big number, so it's a lot of turnovers at once.
Excuse me, because of the noise back here, it's hard to hear. If you could,
I'm trying to make my voice
I know,
as loud
just
as I
talk
can.
a little louder than you
Okay.
normally would.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
The resident wellness and services, family self-support, resident services coordinator, and SASH coordinators.
Yes.
This is written by you in a different hat.
Yes, different voice. So this is the last of my wellness and services manager duties, and I put together just a brief summary of some of the allocations that different staff changes. And so, as I left my position, we broke my position up into several positions, and Lorelei Morissette received a promotion, so she will now be our wellness and services manager. Shona Baugh will now be leading the SASH program, and and Ashley McHale was made a full-time SASH coordinator. Outside of that, Lorelai's report talked about a lot of the programs that she's been offering. The Art in the Neighborhood program is very successful. She also offers programs here. Your karaoke program was really fun. They had a great time. They had sparkling wine, not real wine, not alcoholic wine, sparkling cider. They had a really good time. And then she's recently joined the BA, which is the Brattleboro Area Affordable Housing Board, which is wonderful. So it's very exciting. That's knows that well.
And Ross is, we are no longer able to apply for resident, Ross is resident.
Opportunities of self-sufficiency. And yes, unfortunately, that program is a HUD program, and so we are not allowed to apply for that grant any longer. And so that is not, once we were undergrad, we can no longer apply. So her role will stay within the supportive services program, but it will change somewhat.
This is the trade-off of doing RAD.
It is, yeah.
And not public housing. I hope that our redoing these buildings will be seen as a very great advantage, because it sounds as if it would be very useful.
I hope so, yeah, absolutely.
And the FSS Family Self-Sufficiency Report.
Yes, so we have received funding for an additional year, so that's
Great.
wonderful, great news. And Lucy has a good amount, she's meeting her grant requirements. Given that we have such a small pool of people, I think she does a really great job. She really has been working well with the property managers, meeting and greeting new residents as they move into the housing sites.
I'm impressed in the program that where people get a job increase in income, that if they're in this program, instead of having higher rent, the amount that's a difference between what they had before and what they are earning now will go into escrow for them. And we have somebody who has already $6,000 in escrow, which is really great.
Yes, and we had 2 graduates last year with substantial amounts, which was great. And then for the SASH program, I don't think that Shauna listed it here. However, we have just, we have started a pilot project through SASH with the Department of Disease, Vermont Department of Disease, now I'm not going to remember what it is, but it's around hypertension, and we are getting funding to work with Hotel Pharmacy as a pilot project to incorporate the pharmacy into the SASH program. They come to some of our SASH meetings, and they work specifically with people who would like to work with them around hypertension. And so it's great. It's a 25-week grant program, and so hopefully we're trying it here, and then it could potentially be offered around the state. So it's a big undertaking, and Shauna has been spearheading the whole thing, so it's really wonderful.
When you say here, you're talking about in this building?
We're talking about all the SASH program. So here, and Red Clover Commons, Hayes Court, Melrose Terrace, and in the community, yes.
Okay.
Can I say something? Can I say something?
I really love the papers, SASH
She has
flash.
one more comment.
We need security around here, especially on the weekends, because there's a lot of people that are letting people in to stay with them here, and they're selling drugs, and you can smell it, weed, and somebody needs to be at that door, somebody needs to have a pass or something, the people that live here. And then, because everybody's just letting everybody in, and I know there's a bunch of dealers in this building.
So outside of having a locked door,
Yeah,
The locked door is a really good idea, but it's not
it's not,
solving the biggest issue is that people that live here, if somebody buzzes them, they let them in even if they don't know them. Or if they're down, like checking their mail or they're coming in, they'll let somebody come in behind them, even though they don't know who it is and
And they
never
use the
seen them.
washer dryers down here, the people come in from anywhere.
Yeah, they use the washer and dryers.
So again, if you want to put it on a pink form, the same form, and write down all of these comments, that would be helpful.
Okay, but we do definitely need some kind of security around here.
Well, we have cameras in the building, and we
Yeah,
have,
well, that doesn't really,
Every time we've asked about
yeah,
something to be looked up on the camera, they say it's too
it's
late.
too late, or they can't find it, or,
Well, this is why we collaborate with the Brattleboro Police. And again, if it's helpful to have it in writing. It's helpful to have specifics at such and such a time, this happened, and that's why I'm presenting it. That enables them to take more effective action.
Okay.
We're going to go on to section 8, shelter plus care and transitions to housing.
so there is one piece of this, I know in David's report, he mentioned that there was an approximately $42,500 shortfall that he had reached out to HUD about, and we are still going back and forth on the emails. So we were hoping to hear by the 6th, we did not. So, and I was hoping to speak with him today a little bit about it, but he was out in Springfield, so we have not heard yet.
And my understanding in reading this is that the shortfall has come from HUD basically shorting us
Yes.
on what we expected to receive for the first 3 months of the RAD demonstration project.
Yes, and it looks, from our estimate of what it looks like, they just left Hayes Court off of the RAD. And so I think that we're hoping that on the HUD side, they're going to look at this and just realize that it was an error.
That it was their error, not our error.
Yes, yes.
They
So we are
haven't-
staying on top of it.
They haven't disputed it.
They haven't disputed it at all.
Okay.
We are disputing, we are asking them about it, and they're doing an investigation at this point.
Transitions to housing. We're now serving 8 once homeless families, an increase of 1 from last month. We're able to house a homeless family of 5 in town for the 1st of January that have been searching for a month. That's really quite remarkable.
It is
Because
Yeah, it was a big triumph.
I bet. We'll be looking to add another family to the program in January after reviewing the budget, which I think is an appropriate lead-in to looking at accountants advisors. Financial review. Review the independent auditor's report. And I wondered why my purse was so heavy when I began to hold it out. And it-
I have a question somewhere in here, but I'm not finding it.
So if you excuse me, I did all the business I need to do.
Okay.
Okay, thank you
thank
for
you
coming
for
in.
taking the time to listen.
You'll be getting some of those pink
Sounds great.
corn.
Sounds great. I'll be looking for it.
Okay, thank you.
Would you consider joining the,
Brattleboro, the Resident
Yes.
Advisory Communication.
yes,
I'll ask them about that, if I go.
excuse me?
I go to that.
Good. So even if they don't join, can bring some of their concerns.
Yeah.
That's right.
I take it this is a new relationship with these accountants.
A new relationship? I don't think so. I think that we've used them before. What makes you say that?
Oh,
Oh, no, that was the other piece. That's for our executive session.
okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's what he means or not.
I don't know what it was. It was something simple, but I'm not seeing it, so I didn't write it down.
Is it in the actual?
It was somewhere in
In the auditor's report rather
yeah,
than the.
it was just a simple question, but it's not coming to me. I was reading it without a pen.
Basically, difficulties encountered in performing the audit. We
And
encountered
there
no
weren't any.
significant
Right.
difficulties.
Yep.
And throughout the report, they indicated that they did not see any problems. Pleased to report there are no such disagreements that arose during the course of our audit with the management. And
It's a very clean report.
it is very well stated, very thorough. And then the more extensive financial statements for the year ended March 31st, 2019.
I ask what, maybe a dumb question.
Byron, can you speak up?
On page 14, it refers to management fees from A.W. Richards and Red Clover. I promise I won't go on being bewildered by things, but that's I understand a totally different relationship we have with those
Yes.
two properties.
They are public-privately funded. The Red Clover Commons and the A.W. Richards building. So
And we
they are
have a
not,
management contract
yes,
with them.
And then we receive we receive fees to manage those buildings. And so I think when they were looking at the, the grant-funded positions, those were also allocated in that we receive funds to offer those services. And so we receive funds to manage the Red Clover Commons and A.W. Richards building, which is different from our RAD. You're right, it's different
Yeah.
from our RAD properties. We don't, that we get the subsidy off of the rent payment. This, we receive a set amount of money just to manage the buildings themselves.
I'll get there.
We'll do it together. I learned a lot from reading this, so this was very timely for me. This was helpful to read all of this as
Yeah.
well.
are these reports put out like this every year?
They are,
Okay.
yes.
So this isn't a brand new, contract, it's just it's the annual?
Yes,
statement.
yes, and we will also be audited specifically for our tax credit buildings.
Right.
They're set to come in soon, this
Okay.
month, and they'll be auditing specifically those two properties.
Yeah. Yes, I said that incorrectly. Tax credit buildings are ones that private companies get tax credits that enable us to do that building.
So you will see another audit specifically to that.
Yeah, okay.
Let's say summary. The summary of the auditor's results is uniformly no, 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 none reported, and we do qualify as a low-risk auditee, which is very good. Good place to be.
Right. There are two parts to a report like this, being thorough but also being clear.
Yeah.
Yes. It's close.
And then the last,
Oh,
if
so-
we, do we need
You
to,
do a motion
Yeah.
to accept the,
okay,
I'll make a motion to accept the auditor's report and the, who's this called? The independent audit.
so there was a second from this. Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. This carries. And the monthly check listing. Tom, you have been signing checks in January?
Yes, that's the month with 5 Fridays.
Oh dear.
I'll make a
I had
note.
one of those once too.
Okay.
Do we have somebody for March? I wasn't sure if we had.
We don't
I
yet.
think it's gonna be me. I think it'll be me.
Would you like it to be you?
Sure.
Okay.
I think I'm next.
I'm always available as a backup if somebody has to
Thank you, Tom.
not go. You know, being retired, I have lots of free time, so.
Okay. And I suspect that it would be appropriate for me to be in April. I did November. So why don't we do that?
And I can do May,
Great.
unless somebody's dying to do it.
Did we figure out about the last week in February?
Yeah, I'm gonna take that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Large projects in progress.
So, I believe that next month we'll have a little bit more of a detailed report because Chris Hart will, she's now actively working in the development phase and she has already started working very hard, so it's great. So there's not much to report from what we had last month. The FEMA, FDMA, the 4 buildings have been removed down to the slab, and I know that Chris is just talking to community members. She's been continuing to talk to community members about projects around that property. And so they are going to be putting, she's going to be putting, and Brattleboro Housing Partnership has been really thinking about the history of the land and bringing in community members to really think about the best
Right.
use of that property.
And when you say community, is this mainly the West Brattleboro Association?
Yes, the Vermont Historic Preservation,
Okay.
as well as some, I think that there are some local art groups that she's also talking with. But Chris, I'll be honest, I can't speak to 100%, so she would definitely be, next month she said that she would have something for us to
That's good.
review, so that would be great.
Is the West Brattleboro Association
Yes.
involved?
Yes, they are. Yes, absolutely. Very important for them to be involved.
Red Clover 2.
The permitting, the funding, and the design remain underway, and the DRB has been approved, has been received. And so Chris is actively working on that piece. That's a big piece. And again, I think we'll have more to report next month. she just didn't have anything.
Started.
She didn't have anything to do.
She was
just
busy
started.
being a grandmother.
She was, she is.
Which is great.
Yes, and then we have heard nothing about moving to work. And so,
And when you say we remain in the lottery, it means that as far as HUD is concerned, we still have a potential
we still have a potential.
or not. Okay. And then number 7, enter executive session to discuss legal matters. Do I hear a motion to enter executive session? Well, we can go into executive session with Mary here, and she holds up her camera, and then we go do the work we need to do. So,
Gotcha.
do I hear a motion?
So moved.
No.
Second.
And Byron second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And thank you, Mary.